All right, Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with my guy, Kevin Thunderstorm Johnson. What's going on, man?
I'm good. How's everything going, my brother?
Good, good, man. Hopefully, the holidays was good. Everything's been good with you and your family.
Oh yeah, everything's been fantastic. You know what I mean? Family, my kids is out of school right now, so we just been hanging out, doing workouts and stuff like that, getting them in shape, physically and also mentally as well too. Reading book, 2 books a day. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I got them reading 2 books a day, even in school hours as well too. But other than that, everything's been fantastic. A
Hmm.
hell of a year in 2024.
That's awesome. Mentioning like you said, getting your kids off is like, are they doing sports or what are they what are they doing?
Well, they're not doing sports at this very moment, but I want them to train their bodies to be in condition. My kids kind of I wouldn't say lazy, but they are out of shape. I'll say, you know what I mean? Just because they like to sit around, play video games, and eat. So for this year or next year, or I'm starting actually right now, but for today and every day they have to work out at least hour a day.
No, I respect that. I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in the video games now. There's so many good games, you know what I mean? And who doesn't like to eat? So, I know that with you, you're always in the gym, you're always in
Mhm.
shape. So that's something that you don't have to train yourself or motivate yourself on what to do. So, I know that I think you mentioned we were talking that you got a YouTube channel now coming out, right? And how's that going to work out?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel, Kevin Thunderstorm Johnson. You can follow me on YouTube as well. So with this YouTube channel, this new platform that I created, I am going to release all the unseen sparring clips with screen recording, with voiceovers as well, talking about just the way I think in the sparring, the way I change up, and I'm just gonna start giving gems, start giving game to a lot of young fighters that's coming up that is trying to start their boxing career, and I just want to be that mentor to them. So although it's a sparring clip, I don't want you guys to see it as me just sparring. I want to see what I think in the ring. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And not only that, also beginners tutorials and also bag work, all my exclusive workouts videos as well too. And yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a story on YouTube. So follow me on YouTube at Kevin Thunderstorm Johnson, and also all of my social media platforms as well on IG, Instagram, and TikTok, all of them.
And just to add in context for some people who may not know, like you essentially sparred with practically everyone that anyone can think of, right? So you gotten
Yep.
work with the who's in boxing, you know what I mean? And maybe, I mean you even fought what's considered is a new world champion, Richardson Hitchens as well. So
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, and also for that as well too. My goal is to have a redemption, um, a redemption. All of my yeah, my pops had called me. You know
you're
what I mean?
good, you're
So
good.
it cut off.
But you were
But
mentioning
what?
that you were on a redemption. I think last thing I heard was
Yeah,
something.
a redemption tour. You know what I'm saying? Of all of my robberies that I took in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I want to have a fair shake, of course. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm super excited about next year and years to come. And but Richardson Hitchens, we have to definitely run it back. You know what I mean? You are no champion to me. You know what I mean? All of you who do hold a belt, you know what I mean? And I respect you for it. You know what I mean? Congratulations. But it ain't over yet.
What did you think, when we fought Liam Parra? Did you expect him to, a lot of people have kind of doubted him after the Gustavo Lemos performance, and then he was considered the underdog. Were you shocked that people had him as the underdog, or or did you see it as like a close fight going into it?
No, it was definitely a close fight going into it. I feel that way. You know what I mean? Richardson Hitchens isn't no step over. You know what I mean? He can box. You know what I mean? But once again, he's no Kevin Johnson. He's
Mhm.
definitely not no Kevin Johnson, but he can box. He do have a, s- a good boxing IQ. You know what I mean? But I'm totally different, of course.
Would you do like a rematch with him in like New York? Because he's a New Yorker,
Yeah,
captured the
yeah.
title. He probably wants to start fighting at the MSG, Eddie Hearn, things like that. So ultimately, you have to step into the Lions Den, and go in his backyard. Would
I've
you
been
would you
listen. I've
go?
been doing that all throughout my career. You know, stepping in people backyard, taking their undefeated records. You know what I mean? And I'm do not mind at all to go in his backyard, take his record, take his belt, and become that king of the kings.
Mhm. With the whole division, it's kind of like shaking up, right? And what's ironic is like you've been in the ring practically like three, I think about three or four, about three out of the four, right? You haven't sparred Alberto Puello, right?
No,
Okay, so but you sparred TEO, Devin, and fought Richardson Hitchens.
right?
So, out of those guys, like, is Richardson Hitchens the one that you want the most?
Yeah, definitely. Richard Sanchez I want the most. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I think I saw this on Instagram where they trying to set up TEO and Richardson Hitchens, if
hmm
I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, I mean, I know that's kind of like the ideal fight that they want, two guys born in New York, right? Unification. I mean, it's not official. I think Tio is going to
Okay,
potentially fight Matias, but that's also not official as well. So, I
right.
mean, do you have one or the other? Do you have Tio beating Richardson or Richardson beating Tio if they fought?
I got TEO being Richardson.
Yeah, why is that?
Cause like you just said, I spar TEO, fought Richardson Hitchens. I know what they do good, what
Mhm.
they do great. I just know the styles. You know what I'm saying? Um, definitely styles make fights, but in this case, like I feel like TEO is more elusive or more explosive. You know what I'm saying? So I feel I got TEO winning that fight
Yeah.
with
It's
dominance. I'm definitely telling you with dominance, bro. Like Richardson Hitchens, he's good, but he don't have that speed. You know what I mean? He's a good boxer and everything, but he don't have that speed. He don't have that footwork. You know, he's kind of slow. You know what I mean? He's super basic. You know what I'm saying? He's super basic. You know, it won't work on TO. Definitely not. You know, TO more elusive. Got head movement. He'll step around you and everything. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? He do too much. So I feel like I got TO winning. You know.
do you feel because I know that some of the fights that people have had mixed opinions on his performance. Jermaine Ortiz or more than anything, a Sandor Martin, guys that kind of moved and he would have to be the aggressor opposed to someone being the aggressor towards him, right? And he's a great talented counterpuncher, right? Especially when a guy's coming towards them, he shines, right? Like Josh Taylor was coming
Hmm.
forward. So guys that kind of showed a lot of lateral movement, didn't really engage, right?
Hmm.
Kind of a Richardson Hitchens style, keeps good distance. And would that not potentially trouble Teal, or is it just maybe something else in those, fights that maybe that why Teal don't look like spectacular in those type of moments? What do you think was the reason?
I don't know the reason why TO, but I know TO. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, the type of TO you guys have been seeing lately, you know, he's there in spurts. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Back in the day, back then, TO, you know, he just knocked people out with ease, boxing. You know what I mean? Had a lot of energy, a lot of how you say the love of the sport, I'll say,
Mhm.
was filmed within him. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, oh, I'm gonna do it for money. And so it's in spurts now. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna show y'all something, and then I'm gonna go back and doing whatever the hell he doing. It's not working. You know what I'm saying? But if he get hit, he'll go back to okay. I'm woke up now. You know what I mean? If he get hit good, he'll wake up, right? And you see that in his fights, he'll wake up, he'll do some things real good, then he go back to you know lackadaisical, basically type of fight. You know what I mean?
Kind of like rise to the occasion when it matters, and those fights
Yeah,
probably didn't,
yeah,
right?
exactly, right.
Do you think
So.
Matias? You think Matias is an opponent? Because they're reporting that that's a fight that probably could happen. Him and TEO will be engaging in a fight. Do you think that fight motivates them, or on top of the style, a guy comes forward?
Mhm. I think that would motivate him because honestly, Tio, um, wants to, and even in my okay, going back to my YouTube channel,
Hmm.
going back to my
Plug
YouTube
your
channel,
channel, by the way,
yeah,
all throughout this, so that.
yeah. Throughout all this, listen, going back to my YouTube channel in 2025, I will also give you guys the ins and outs on how to beat all these champions that I sparred with, worked with. You know what I mean, and just in general, you know what I'm saying. Now with T.O., if you come forward on T.O. but still have that defensive mindset, right? You can beat him. You know what I mean? You can wear him out. You know what I mean? I did a hell of a job with Teofimo going forward, and I was dominant on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. So, and I was always going forward, pressuring him, and I broke him down in that way. In that way, you know what I'm saying? So with Matias, he, I like his style. He's gonna come forward, but he don't have head movement. If you don't have head movement or a slight of defense, you're gonna get destroyed by T.O. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have at least a slight of defense. So so you can be aware, counter punch your counter, right? You can counter punch your counter, you know what I mean, but still be in his face. You know what I'm saying? Tio don't like that. When you counter him and you still in his face, he'll break down mentally. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did in sparring. When I sparred him, I broke his ass down mentally, always in his face, and he couldn't hit me.
Do you
So,
think?
but with
Okay.
Matias, I don't think he's had that slight defense. He's just gonna get hit and trying to. Nah, and Teofimo is explosive, and he can crack. You know what I'm saying? He can crack.
Do you think Teal will get the job done and get a nice stoppage against Matias based off that style?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.